thought of being audited is terrifying, but Brien McElhatten has some ways to help you steer clear of the tax man. So Brien, what's the deal?
Welcome to the Internal Revenue Service.
Lisa Riley is a tax attorney, and just look at her desk. All of those cases stacked up. You thought your job was rough.
The Internal Revenue Code, Albert Einstein said it was one of the most complicated things in the world to understand.
You know what else is hard to understand? The tax audit. First things first, though, what triggers an audit?
They'll take a look at what was reported by a third party and what you reported on your return, and if it doesn't match, then there's an issue.
So a giant IRS computer grabs your W-2 from your employer and then looks at what you report on your tax return forms. It keeps track of everything.
The computer actually does a match, sends out a CP 2000 notice, and that's a correspondence audit.
A correspondence audit. When the IRS computer sends you a letter saying, hey, I think you made a mistake, you should probably get that fixed before I call the tax man. And once it calls the tax man, you'll have to go to an IRS office with receipts and reams of paperwork, and you could end up owing thousands. But the truth is, your chances of getting audited this year are about 1%. That's really low. Thanks to budget cuts, the IRS doesn't have enough people to do the work. But don't think you can game the system. That's still not a good idea.
The IRS can go back at least 3 years after your return's been filed to audit. The biggest thing the IRS is looking for is omissions of income. Get your W-2 together and make sure you have all line items correct.
And one more thing, if you do get audited, and some of you will, read this, the Taxpayer's Bill of Rights, also known as Publication 1.
And it's really important to know what you're entitled to.
So make sure your W-2s are correct and check out Publication 1 so you know your rights. We'll put it on our website, thelisttv.com.